I'm never doing something like this again. And what I mean by that is, if God called me to make films, it'll be very clear. If he put it on my heart to make movies, then I'll do it. I'll be obedient to him. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to look for my worth from the films I'm making, being a filmmaker, or the way that I make films. Everyone told me you're crazy to write, direct, and be the cinematographer on a feature film, your first feature film. And you know what I said? Maybe I am crazy. No, I'm kidding. I think I reasoned I'm doing it because I love it. I love doing cinematography. I love acting. I love filmmaking, directing. I love editing. I love doing all the different jobs. And I love, that's true. All that's true. I love doing all those things. Just not together at one thing on something I'm self-financing. Welcome to Moviemaker Ministry Masterclass Chapter 2. Burning away what doesn't matter before you begin. Now, I thought that my next chapter of this masterclass on filmmaking would be about my writing process, the creative process, how I brainstorm ideas, find inspiration, flesh things out, and the process of turning that inspiration into writing that I'm proud of and happy with and accomplishes what I set out to do. That took me, I'd say 10, 15 years to figure out. I remember, a car ride home from Maryland, it was a beach trip with my family. And I just remember I was writing screenplays at the time because I was trying to make something. And I just remember actually asking myself what makes for a great movie. And I could never find the notes that I wrote for myself. I would really love to find those to see what I thought a great movie was back then. And I thought that was going to be my second lesson. I think what I'm about to teach is something that took me a lifetime to figure out because it transcends filmmaking. This is honestly the most important thing when it comes to just going through life. And I don't even know if this might be more important than even the rules. But if you're starting, it's important to know the rules, the commandments first. So this is chapter 2. This is not only important for before you start making a film. I wish I did this. I think I might have done this on my feature film I'm currently making. And I might have done this on previous projects by accident and not being really aware of it. And that's why months into the process or after the film was done, I was proud of it for years to come and happy with doing it and sharing it with people versus kind of just forgetting about it, the work that I did, or not feeling like it was what I wanted to make. So this is not only something that you can apply at the very beginning before you even start making a film. This is something you can apply when you're deep in the process of shooting to process trauma, to process PTSD, to process being in the furnace. Like, you can use this throughout filmmaking, but not only that, this is actually something that I think is useful for anyone. It's useful for life. If life is throwing you really tough things, this actually, I used to think filmmaking became a vehicle for me to process things. I don't think it does. I don't think filmmaking is the way to process stuff. It's not. This is. So what I'm about to share with you, it's actually, I used to, this kind of would have scared me in the past, but it shouldn't. This is a tool that could replace filmmaking for you entirely. And it's kind of, I remember there was a director who said, they went to like a shrink's office or something and asked, is this going to make me less creative? And then they're like, we're not entirely sure. And then they walked out. This is one of those things where you do this, you could actually discover that you don't need to make films, or you don't need to make them the way that you think you do. And that might be scary, but it shouldn't be, because would you rather know now, or when you're in the middle of making your feature film, spending who knows how much money, especially if you self-finance, doing all this stuff, burning out, ending up in the ER possibly. And I'm saying these things because I'm going to be completely candid with you. I am all in on this film. This is going to be the last feature film or film I ever make. I'm making my current first feature film. I'm 70 or 80% of the way through, and we're almost to the end. But if it doesn't come through, if like something goes wrong, I'm done with filmmaking. I've already grieved filmmaking. I've been through the furnace plenty of times on this film. I've been through experiences that change my brain and who I am. It's cut things out. It's gutted me in ways. I've reached a point where I think starting yesterday after a shoot, mind you, the feature film is going better than I could ever imagine. Like, we're doing better work than I ever would dream of doing. It's not going bad. It's going amazing. It's just, I've reached a point where I understand why I got into it and why and how I would do things differently. And I've decided, I think on the drive home last night, I'm never doing something like this again. And what I mean by that is, if God called me to make films, it'll be very clear. If he put it on my heart to make movies, then I'll do it. I'll be obedient to him. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to look for my worth from the films I'm making, being a filmmaker, or the way that I make films. Everyone told me, you're crazy to write, direct, and be the cinematographer on a feature film, your first feature film. And you know what I said? Maybe I am crazy. No, I'm kidding. I basically, I think I reasoned, I'm doing it because I love it. I love doing cinematography. I love acting. I love filmmaking, directing. I love editing. I love doing all the different jobs. And I love, that's true. All that's true. I love doing all those things. Just not together at one thing on something I'm self-financing. Because that has created the biggest, Gordian knot, I don't know if that's the right word, Gordian knot of stress and pressure that I don't think I've gotten to a point where I cannot really relate to anyone about the level of pressure I'm going through. And I had somebody, they had the best intentions. I was telling somebody, I just told them, hey, I'm having trouble keeping up with something going on over here in life. And I was like, I'm drinking from I feel like I'm drinking from multiple fire hoses right now. They're like, oh, drink from one fire hose equals success. And then the emoji of sunglasses. And I'm just like, I just texted back, yeah, that would be ideal. I'm just like, I don't feel like I can relate to people anymore in terms of how difficult it's been. But that's because I put myself here. I chose to do this. But here's the thing. I'm not saying this for pity. I'm not saying this for anything. I'm just saying this as a cautionary tale for people who want to make movies. What does this have to do with the lesson? What is the lesson of this chapter? I should, I should get into that real quick and then come back to this. The lesson is, understand why you're doing what you're doing. Understand the why. Understand who you are. And you're not going to learn that. You can learn that from filmmaking the hard way. You probably will learn who you are more from making films because it's an adventure. You need an adventure to find out who you are. But you can't go into it deciding that this is your worth.